This is Studio One at CBS.
Do you not think, my friend, that a beautiful and proud woman can help you?
Speak more plainly, citizeness.
You have said we are two of a kind. We are indeed. We are both ambitious and ruthless. With my help, you could rule Paris, all of France.
I still do not understand.
I think you do, my friend. I think you've known since the moment we met. Marry me and our destinies will be great.
With a dramatic moment from The Hunted, based on a play by Booth Tarkington, CBS invites you to Studio One, a full-hour Columbia feature from the pages of the world's great storytellers. Storytellers known and loved by millions. To introduce tonight's great story, here's the director of Studio One, Fletcher Markle.
The name of the late, renowned Booth Tarkington usually brings to mind simple, plain American stories about young people like Penrod and Sam, Gentle Julia, Clarence, and Alice Adams. Stories of small towns and their citizens, teenagers, large and small, and their problems. It seems unlikely, then, that Mr. Tarkington once turned from the recognizable American simplicities of his best-known stories to a dark melodrama of revenge and passion set in the smoking background of Paris during the French Revolution. But this he did. He wrote a short play which he called Beauty and the Jacobin. Tonight's story, The Hunted, especially prepared for Studio One by Margaret Leworth, is based on that play. You'll be hearing Everett Sloane as Valjean, with Anne Burr as Eloise, Miriam Wolfe as Anne, and Sidney Smith as Louis. Paris, 1793, the year of the terror, a time when no man trusts his neighbor and the shadow of the guillotine crosses every face. The king is dead, the nobility destroyed. The heads of Republicans and liberals have rolled in the basket. Paris is now in the hands of the extremists. Every man walks in fear.
Yes. What do you want?
Can you tell me if Monsieur d'Aussonville lives here?
I know no Monsieur d'Aussonville.
Wait, Mama. Who wants to see Monsieur d'Aussonville?
A friend.
What is your business with Monsieur d'Aussonville?
It is personal business, but if he is not here...
I happen to know where Monsieur d'Aussonville is. I also know he was expecting a caller. If it's worth your while...
Will 20 francs do?
A louis d'or.
Very well. There. There you are. Show me to him.
Take the stairway across the court. The back room, second floor.
Thank you.
You could have gotten 10 louis.
One is enough. One must be cautious.
Pig. Who does he think he fooled with his peasant shoes and coat? That was an aristocrat.
He will not last any longer than the others. But meanwhile, put the louis behind the stove, Mama. Who knows? We may be rich someday.
d'Aussonville. Who are you?
A friend sent by Philippe Noir, the Golden Bell. My name is Louis Balsage.
What is your real name?
That is my real name.
Balsage, the commonest name in all France. And you with those thin white hands. Monsieur, if you have come on business, we'd better be honest with each other.
Very well. My name is Louis Chanot.
You are Louis Chanot. My friend, you are a brave man to walk the streets of Paris today.
I had to come back. My sister's still here and a friend. It is for them I came.
A friend? What is her name?
Is that necessary, too?
No, that is not necessary. What do you want of me?
They tell me you can forge a passport that no one can detect.
It is expensive, Citizen Chanot.
I have gold with me. I will pay whatever you ask.
Where do you want to go?
I wish to leave Paris at once with my sister and friend and take ship from Boulogne.
I can give you such a passport. The price, 5,000 louis.
5,000?
Too much for 3 heads?
No, I have jewels with me. I can pay.
Good. For whom shall the passport be made out, Citizen Chanot?
For Citizen Balsage. his sister, Virginia Balsage, and his second sister, Marie Balsage.
It's getting dark, Eloise.
Yes. I love this hour.
Why do you pretend you're not afraid?
I have nothing to fear in Paris.
Are you so sure of that?
Of course I am sure. Everyone knows Eloise d'Anville.
Yes, everyone knows you, and that's more dangerous for you.
Nonsense.
You're my half-cousin, Eloise. You've just as aristocratic blood in your veins as Louis and I. The people know that.
They also know I gave my money and jewels to the cause. I dined with Marat. Carnot and Varenne were my friends.
And goodness knows how many others when they were in power.
What are you insinuating?
I am not insinuating, Eloise. I'm only trying to make you see no one is safe in France anymore. Andre, my own husband...
Andre talked too much.
He was loyal to what he believed in and belonged to.
And I am not. Is that it?
Don't let us quarrel, Eloise.
You hate me, Anne. You always have. You've always been jealous because Louis is in love with me.
I do not deny I wish my brother loved another woman. I've wished it for 6 years. You don't want him, but you won't let him free.
He has a chance now. He can leave Paris with you tonight.
You know he won't go without you. Louis came all the way back from England where he was safe. He slept in stables, hidden in ditches to get here. We're both leaving with him.
How determined you've suddenly become, dear Anne.
I'm determined you're not going to ruin us.
You concern yourself needlessly. I love Paris, and Paris still loves me. And I find the air in this room stifling.
Where are you going?
Anne, I don't believe I have to account to you.
You're not going out. It isn't safe. Somebody will know you.
I hope everybody will know me.
Eloise, you're the cruelest woman I ever knew. I don't think you care for anybody.
Perhaps not. But someday I shall. And then, what a woman Eloise d'Anville will be. This is all very tiresome. I am going out. Hello, Papa Jacques. Papa Jacques.
Countess Eloise.
Please, Papa Jacques, you are behind the times. Citizeness d'Anville.
What are you doing here?
Don't look so frightened. Am I not welcome?
Don't ask me that. Wherever I am, you are welcome, Countess.
Please, Papa, call me Citizeness.
Citizeness. But you know how things are. It isn't safe for you here.
Or do you mean it isn't safe for you?
Well, come into the back room. This is quieter in here.
Poor Papa, you're so white. Have they frightened you so?
What is it you want?
What is it I want? I just want to see you. Why have I ever come? At one time you thought it was a great lark when Eloise d'Anville would slip away from the king's court to visit her old family chef in his little cafe. We would have a bottle of wine and talk about Provence. And I would forget for a while the stupidities of the court. Now you look at me as if I were a stranger.
Countess, you don't understand. You're only a woman, and these are bad times.
Only a woman. I haven't heard that since the Duc d'Orléans tried to explain the intricacies of baccarat. You've more brains than he had, Papa Jacques. And I have twice as much as you both. Yes, my old friend, I understand the time.
Then why do you come here?
Because here I don't feel lonely.
My child, all of us know that loneliness, that emptiness. But it should come with age, not with youth. You are lonely because despite everything, you've never given your heart to anyone. If you ever did, if you ever put anyone before yourself...
Oh, don't lecture me tonight, Papa Jacques. I came here to say goodbye to you.
You're leaving Paris?
I'm leaving France. A passport and a carriage will be ready if I choose to go.
I'm glad. I have worried so about you.
But I don't want to go. I belong to Paris just as much as you do, Papa Jacques. The people are my friends.
Your friends? Too many would like nothing better than see the most beautiful head in France roll into the basket.
I do not believe you.
I'm sorry, my lady. I think I'd better go back to my customers now.
Very well. Serve me wine at the corner table.
Wine? In there? Oh, no, my lady. I beg of you, don't go into the cafe.
It is a public cafe. I may come and go like anyone else.
My lady, I beseech you, do not be foolish.
And chill the wine.
Countess.
Papa?
Citizeness, listen to me. Hear the crowd. They've been in the square all day watching the guillotine. They're blood mad. You don't know what they'll do.
They will do nothing. My wine, Papa Jacques. This will be amusing. And heaven knows I need amusement.
Look at this one. Who is she, huh?
Where's the tricolor? Looks like a blue blood.
What's she doing here?
Hello, citizeness.
Please, let me pass.
How about a little kiss?
I wish to go to my table.
And citizeness, you're a cold one. No kiss?
Let Madame Guillotine kiss her.
Let me alone. Don't touch me. Don't you know who I am? Don't you know? Take your hands off me.
Madame, I can help you. The side door leads to an alley.
Who are you?
This way at once. Do you hear? Come with me.
Are we safe here in the alley?
Yes, of course. That was very foolish of you, citizeness.
And very rash of you.
Impertinent of me, but unfortunately there was no time for the usual introduction.
Who are you?
My name is Paul Valzin.
Valzin? I know of no one by that name.
Would it also be impertinent to ask your name?
Don't you know?
I'm afraid the misfortune is mine.
You really don't know who I am?
Yes. Now I do know.
Who?
The name is not important. You are the most beautiful woman I have ever found in Paris. That is very important to me.
Your manners come from the court.
Sheer mimicry, my dear citizeness. I was a veterinarian's assistant. In short, a horse doctor.
I don't believe you.
Good. And I don't believe you're a friend of the people. We shall be irresistibly attracted to each other.
You are very sure of yourself.
And you are very fascinating.
Good night, Citizen Balza. And thank you for your rescue.
I wouldn't feel my duty done unless I saw you to your door.
I'm afraid that's impossible.
Then I may call tomorrow.
I'm leaving Paris tonight.
Citizeness, you challenge me, and I have never refused a challenge.
Then I'm afraid you'll have to find another adversary. But I wish I knew...
Knew what?
I don't believe you were a veterinarian's assistant. I don't believe anything you've said. But your face... Somewhere I've seen it before.
Where?
I don't know.
Good. Then at least my face will haunt you. I shall dream of yours.
Good night, Citizen Balza.
Good night. I do not think we have met before, but I know we shall meet again, Citizeness.
Eloise, where have you been?
Saying goodbye to Paris. Did you get the passports, Louis?
Yes, the carriage is ordered.
How enterprising you are. As you've planned the trip, would it be too much to know where we're going?
The passport will see us through Paris and Boulogne. And right on to the ship Jean Pierrette, which sails from Boulogne for Barcelona tomorrow night. Eloise, we're safe now.
Safe? Ach, I'm beginning to hate that word.
Eloise, where were you all evening? I've worried myself ill.
You never had a strong stomach, Louis.
You will be ready, won't you? The carriage will be here at 9. Anna's packed a bag for you.
One bag? Louis, don't be naive. It's bad enough to run away like a criminal. I don't intend to look like one.
You? Oh, my dear.
Louis, let's not be romantic now. You've asked me to go on this trip. I've agreed, ridiculous as it is. Now, as it happens, I regret my decision.
You've changed your mind.
I haven't changed my mind, my frightened rabbit. I found Paris quite charming tonight.
Where did you go?
Only to the Red Cat to say goodbye to Papa Jacques.
Is that all?
That's all.
Eloise, why do you torment me like this? You were in love with me once.
Was I?
We were engaged.
One of my youthful follies.
It was no folly. I've never stopped loving you. So much so that I was miserable even while I was safe in England. I had to come back to you.
It's quite useless, Louis.
I don't believe it. And when I've got you out of France and safe, I shall make you love me again. Someday we shall be married.
Perhaps you're right, Louis.
I know I'm right.
Someday, when there's nothing else left for either of us.
Who goes?
Citizen Valsin.
Good evening, Citizen Valsin. I did not expect you tonight.
Nor did I expect to be here. I assure you, when the fog is this thick, I'd rather be in front of a fire with a glass of good Madeira.
And I'd rather be in a warm carriage than standing guard here at the West Gate.
So the world spins. No man satisfied.
You leave Paris on a night like this?
I go to Boulogne.
Boulogne? Ah, they say that is as good as Paris. Crowded with emigres, Just when my lords and ladies think they are safe, the committee comes knocking on the door, Good sport.
Too much blood, my friend. You wash nothing out with blood.
There are a lot who think so. What takes you to Boulogne?
I go to see a friend. Captain de Grasse is in port with his ship Jean Pierrette. We were friends once, in the King's service.
And I remember what they did to you there, Citizen Valsin.
A good memory is an uneasy companion, my friend. I try to remember nothing. Here, buy yourself half a pint.
Oh, thank you, citizen.
By the way, a carriage will come through shortly with a man and 2 women. Do not trouble them.
I let no one through without proper papers.
Their papers will be in order.
Then I'll not stop them. In fact, I like to see the birds fly to the end of the net. A good trip, citizen, and a warm bed at the end of it.
You see, there was nothing to it. Let us through without question.
Oh, Louis, I feel that I can breathe now. They won't stop us again, will they?
Not until we board the ship, Anne. They'll ask to examine our passports again, but that's nothing. The worst was over when we left Paris.
It's the end of a long nightmare.
By the time you're in England, you'll forget it ever happened.
No, Louis, I'll never forget. Nor will I ever forgive the people of France. They killed Andre, the gentlest, kindest man that ever lived. He gave to the poor, so did I. We took care of 24 families, and they killed him. Someday God will bring punishment on the people of France.
Oh, Anne, don't talk rot. The people of France don't want your charity or anybody else's. They want their rights.
So, you're not asleep, Eloise. You've been so quiet, I thought you were.
How can one sleep with such idiot talk?
Eloise, we're safe now.
Safe? How comfortable and bourgeois. How common.
I declare, Eloise, I don't know which side you're on. First you talk about the people and their rights, then you talk as if you despise them.
I do in a mass, but separately they're individuals, just like you and me. Why, a man in a common cafe can have more dignity and more manners than all the king's courtiers.
Have you met such a man?
If I had, Louis, I should not tell you.
Must we quarrel all the time?
And leave me and my ideas alone. We'll never agree. Louis, you and Anne blame the people because they turn on you now, after you've whipped and beaten them and ground them underfoot for centuries.
You don't believe those things.
Then why should I say them?
A way of proving your love for me.
My love for you?
Yes. You go to such lengths to irritate me.
You've never lost your little conceits, have you, Louis? Look out of the window.
What is it?
A carriage. I never saw it.
Well, this is the Boulogne Road.
Yes, but curiously enough, that carriage has kept the same distance from us ever since we left the West Gate.
Why didn't you tell me?
What good would that do?
It can't be. We're followed. No one knows we left Paris. You know who might be in that carriage?
My friend, I think this is an idiotic trip. I wish I hadn't come. But having embarked on it, I have no more desire to lose my head than you have.
Louis, I'm frightened. That carriage is following us.
Driver!
Yes, citizen?
Can you go faster?
With such a load? We're overpacked now.
I knew we packed too much.
Meaning I packed too much.
Driver, go as fast as you can.
I do my best.
It will do no good. That carriage keeps pace with us. It even stopped when we stopped for refreshment at Sambo. I'm afraid, Louis, there is much more interest in our journey than you think.
Citizen? Has Captain de Grasse come in?
That's him in the side alcove, sitting with the girl with the black hair.
Oh, thank you.
You can coax money, but I still refuse.
You promise me every time, and then you say no.
Well, de Grasse?
Valsin, my old friend. Run along, Marie. I have business.
But you said... You mean I won't see you tonight?
You'll see me tonight. Wait for me at the fish walk.
Don't be long. And remember your promise. If I see you with another girl, I will scratch her eyes out.
And mine. Run along, you spitfire.
I interrupt you, de Grasse?
Oh, she can wait. She's like all the rest. Begs you to take her to Paris.
To be a lady, eh?
Oh, nothing of the sort. They want to see Madame Guillotine at work. In person.
Oh, little savages.
The Times, my friend.
Yes.
Well, you're a sight to gladden the eyes. What brings you to Boulogne?
Business. The Times may be breeding cannibals, but they're bringing prosperity to you.
I have no complaints.
It must be profitable carrying emigres out of the country.
They pay for it. But I'm not smuggling. I take no one without the proper papers.
Better than shivering on the King's watch at 4 a.m, eh, de Grasse?
Or being stripped and beaten in the public square because you splashed mud on your superior officer, eh, Valzin?
I have not forgotten.
Well, now it's your turn. You are a man of authority.
De Grasse, I have not sought you out to talk old injuries.
Valzin, you've never done anything in your life without a good reason. Why have you sought me out?
I have reason to think a party of 3 persons will board your ship sometime tonight.
What persons?
I can only tell you 2 women and a man. I want you to give them your best attention.
I see. Anything else?
I shall attend to everything else myself.
This is the only room left in the inn, citizen.
But this isn't a room, it's an attic.
If the citizen doesn't want it.
Take it, Louis. It's only for a few hours.
A few hours, you say?
I mean, just the one night.
We'll take it.
We'll pay in advance. The price of this room is 50 francs.
50 francs for this attic? There's not even a stove.
But before a holiday, the price is always doubled. 100 francs.
Here you are.
Thank you. Does the citizen wish any supper or wine?
No, just leave us alone.
Certainly. Sleep well, citizen.
The robber. They're all robbers.
In a revolution, everyone has his price.
You bore me, both of you. You're both frightened to death, but you think 100 francs too much to pay for a few hours' peace of mind.
I paid it, didn't I?
Yes, you paid it. Now you better find where the ship sails so we can get aboard. I can't say I care for these quarters. You can almost hear the rats behind the walls.
Yes, hurry, Louis, dear. I have a terrible uneasiness.
You're safe here, Anne.
We haven't been safe since we left Paris. That carriage followed us all the way. It stopped wherever we stopped. It kept the same distance. And now in Boulogne.
He can't follow us now.
But he can. Don't ask me to explain it. I know someone is watching us. Every step we take, every move.
Eloise, take care of her, will you? I'll be back right away.
Hurry, Louis.
Eloise, you will be all right.
Of course I shall be all right. If I don't smother to death in here.
You mustn't step outside this door, either of you, until I get back. You understand? I won't be long.
How quiet it is. Hardly anyone in the streets.
We can be thankful for that.
Look, even the shutters are down out there on the wine shop. You wouldn't know France is bleeding to death from this little town.
How blind you are. France is being reborn.
All right, Eloise. I'm too tired to listen to your political speeches now. Eloise.
What is it?
Look down there. Opposite the wine shop. Past those few people.
What? What are you looking at?
I saw him again.
Saw who?
Saw the face I got a glimpse of at the carriage window. Well, I told you.
And I told you were foolish. You're imagining things. You have an idea that carriage was following us, but you could not have seen anyone through the curtain.
I did, I tell you.
Then why didn't Louis or I?
I don't know. But I saw him, and I'll never forget that face. I tried to tell you, thin and dark and full of the worst hatred I've ever seen. And I saw him again just now, down there in the street. I know.
You'd better lie down, Anne, before you become ill from overripe fancy and cause Louis real trouble.
You won't go away.
Where would I go? But I am going to open this door. I can't breathe.
Oh.
Aha.
Oh, citizeness.
You've been listening.
No, citizeness.
You lie, you know it. You're frightened like everybody else, but you shouldn't listen.
But, citizeness, he asked me to give you this note.
Who asked you?
A man, I don't know him. He said I was to give it to you, alone.
Thank you. This is for your trouble.
Oh, thank you, citizeness.
Eloise, what are you doing out there?
I'll be right in. Oh, what's this? Most beautiful lady, I have learned you are in Boulogne. I have thought of nothing but you since our meeting. If I could see you again for a few minutes, I would die in happiness. I will be at the wine shop waiting your answer.
Eloise, what are you doing?
I'm going out.
No, don't leave me.
I'll be back in a few minutes, Anne. A very few minutes.
I knew you would come.
This time you have done a foolish thing.
But you are here. The gods must have looked with favor.
How did you know I was in Boulogne?
By following you every moment since we met in Paris.
So it was you.
Didn't you guess?
Yes. But you frightened the lady I'm traveling with. She was quite in a panic. She saw a face in your carriage full of fury.
The fury of love, my beautiful one.
And she thinks you've followed us ever since.
She's more observing than you are.
Who are you?
I told you with far more honesty than you told me. My name is Balzac.
That means nothing to me.
I'm certain of that.
Since you found out so much about me, surely now you know who I am.
The most beautiful woman I ever saw. The one I've waited for all my life.
But my name?
Your name doesn't matter.
Suppose I were famous, important.
That doesn't matter.
Are you always so determined?
When a man has lived with a dream for years, and then suddenly it is made possible, he must have determination.
And since you don't care who I am, you'd better know something about me. You see, it is quite hopeless. I'm leaving Bologna tonight.
I know that, too.
Is there anything you don't know?
What you think of me. Do you feel any of the flame that is burning in me? The attraction that draws me like a magnet? You do feel it. I see it in your eyes.
You're mistaken.
I couldn't be mistaken. Not of this. Give me the last few hours you have in Boulogne.
It's impossible. I have friends they would worry.
Then send word.
No, I must go back now.
It is now 6. Meet me at 9 at this same spot.
I can't.
Only for an hour or two.
No, I mustn't.
You must and you will. I see it in your face. We are two of a kind, and we have found each other. Isn't it true?
Yes, heaven help me, it is true.
I'll be waiting here at 9.
From Studio One at CBS, we are bringing you The Hunted, based on a play by Booth Tarkington. Our story will resume in just a moment after the customary pause for local station identification. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Continuing from Studio One at CBS, the story of a famous beauty of the French court, her aristocratic sweetheart and his sister, and their attempt to escape from France after the Revolution. Part 2 of The Hunted.
This way. Don't push. Give everybody a chance to read. The list, citizens, just come from Paris. Read the worthy heads that rolled into Samson's basket yesterday.
It's a very short list. What's the matter? Can't they find the rats in their holes?
Tomorrow is a holiday. Madame Guillotine is resting up for that.
They say 3 of them came to the inn this afternoon. Are they going to get away?
Citizeness, we observe the formalities. If they have a passport...
Passport? I say set up a guillotine in Bologna. Why should we miss the part?
Let me through, please. Please, I wish to pass.
What's this?
Please.
Doesn't the citizeness wish to read the list?
I have no acquaintances among the proscribed. Only in the streets do I have friends.
Eloise, wait.
Louis.
What are you doing here on the street?
I had to get air. I was stifling with Anne's nerves.
Get out of this mob. I've something to tell you.
What is it?
Doesn't the citizeness want to see the new list?
You'd better go up. They expect it.
We haven't time.
Not squeamish, are you?
It's there on the walls. Just pretend to read it, Louis. They're watching.
This is yesterday's list. Heads that have rolled. On the right is tomorrow's list.
Eloise.
What is it? Oh, stop shaking, you fool. You'll give yourself away.
Look. The last names on the list.
Louis Chanot. Anne Chanot-Lessegne, your sister. Hey, Louise. Oh, no, it's a mistake.
Eloise Danville. It's no mistake. Someone knows us. Someone knows we're here in Boulogne.
How did you blunder?
I didn't. We mustn't quarrel here.
Step along, you two. Others want to read.
You've made a mistake somewhere. How like you? But it doesn't matter if we're sailing before dawn.
That's what I have to tell you now. We're not sailing.
Not sailing?
The captain says our passport isn't good for the ship. We need a special permit. Eloise, we're trapped. Somebody's tricked us.
Come. Let us return to the attic and make a plan.
Louis, it's growing dark very fast.
I hadn't heard it.
Shall I light another candle?
Yes, please.
People are still crowding in front of the wine shop.
Naturally. Waiting for the new bullet. Oh, this isn't right.
Louis, you must have patience. You'll get the permit.
For once, dear Anne, I know my shortcomings. I'm learning after 3 hours that among the advantages I enjoyed as peer of France, forgery is not one.
I should feel sorry for you, Louis, if I thought this was necessary.
The ship sails with a tide at 5. If we are to sail on it, we must have a permit. We are on the condemned list. Therefore, we must write our own permit. It's so obvious, it's ridiculous.
I've told you if you will let me go to the authorities.
With your name on the list, too?
Clearly a mistake. They will not touch Eloise Danville.
I'll still try to forge a credible permit.
That man is still out there, Louis.
Anne, are you seeing things again?
I know he's the one who's done this. I'm sure of it. He followed us from Paris. He spied on us.
Who is he?
I don't know. But I'm sure of one thing. He has a hatred that's personal to us. He's going to follow us until we're all in the cart on the way to the guillotine. He's the devil.
Control yourself, Anne. Hysterics won't help anything. Sometimes I think your mind isn't as strong as it should be.
Eloise.
Maybe she's right, Louis. Maybe I am imagining things. There's been so much. He isn't there now. You see?
Whoever this stranger is, he can do us no more harm. For the blinds, I'll get this permit done properly if it takes all the night.
And I'll lie down just a little while before I repack. We can't take anything much now.
Committee of Public Safety, in the name of the Republic, to all officers, civil and military, permit the citizen Balsage, that's myself, and the citizeness Virginia Balsage, his sister, that's Anne, and the citizeness Marie Balsage, that's you, Eloise, to embark on the vessel Jeune Pierrette from the port of Boulogne for Barcelona. Signed, Dio Varin, Cano, Robespierre. It's no good. I don't even know the proper form.
Why don't you find someone who could write it better? You did in Paris.
What do you mean? Send out a street crier for an accomplished forger? You mock me, Eloise.
Of course I mock you. If you could see yourself pale, your hair rumpled, the candle burned down, papers all over the floor. Why not write your memoirs? It might be more satisfying.
These may well be my last words. Eloise, you look different.
Do I? How?
So bored before you, but so cold. Now there's a sense of excitement about you. I don't understand.
You're more observing than I thought.
Eloise, don't evade me now. There's very little time left, you and I.
This whole trip was your idea, Louis. Had you stayed in England, Eloise Danville would be safe in Paris, and your precious sister under my protection.
I know. I blundered things badly. Something's gone wrong, and now it's too late. I know these permits are hopeless. I have a strong foreboding.
Of what, Louis?
But this is the last chance you will ever have.
I will ever have? For what?
To tell me that some love for me still lingers.
Oh, please, not now, Louis.
Listen, I have hope that you and Anne will be permitted to escape. That is why I'm working on this permit. But for me, the first moment I felt the eyes of that spy from Paris on me...
There's no spy. I tell you, you're imagining things.
Anne's right. I know. Just follow this. From the moment I saw that carriage, I've known I'd be taken back. The guillotine. I'm sure you will arrest me when I try to leave this place tonight.
You're so weak, Louis.
You've always thought so, haven't you? I am weak. I've always been. But for you, Eloise, my love has always been strong. Your name has been in my heart since the first day I saw you.
Louis, there's no time now.
Yes, I want to think of it. You were in the garden at Trianon. Your hair was like gold in the sun. Your mouth was smiling. You were the most beautiful vision I'd ever seen on earth. I still think so. Forgive me, I bore you.
You don't bore me.
I know, but I have nothing to offer you now. Not even safety.
Louis, in the name of heaven, is this the time to grow maudlin? In a few hours, that ship will sail.
But they won't touch Eloise D'Anville, you think.
I don't need your irony. I have no feeling for you, Louis, but contempt. But I can't let you and Anne be caught like a couple of winged ducks. If you can't do anything but sit here and scribble uselessly and talk like a fool, I can.
What do you propose to do?
Find someone to help us.
You don't know anyone in Boulogne?
Don't I? That's for you to think about, my timid friend. I have friends wherever I need them. And at 9 o'clock, I know where to find one.
Again. What brings you to the square so late?
To see the news, of course.
Let the citizeness through. She's one of us.
There'll be a fat catch tomorrow, citizeness.
Indeed?
Yes. There is Louis Chenot, colonel of the King's Cavalry, his sister Anne, and then at last the beauty.
You know her? The one you call the beauty?
Everyone knows her. Eloise D'Anville.
What do you know?
She lived on the fat of the cause.
But she gave her money to the cause, all her wealth.
That's what they said.
But it's true.
She's an adventuress. I say her head should roll with the rest of her.
And I say you're wrong. Are you so bloodthirsty you don't know the innocent from the guilty, your friends from your enemies? If you are, France is lost. But I say France is won. And women like Eloise D'Anville belong to it now.
This is where I find you making speeches.
Oh, Father, I couldn't get through to the wine shop. The mob.
It does seem you have a talent for rabble-rousing, and I a talent for rescuing you. If you'll come this way.
I couldn't help it. They're maligning a good woman they don't know anything about.
Is there a good woman?
Yes.
Who, my beautiful one?
Eloise D'Anville, friend of the people.
You know her?
Slightly.
So do I.
You do?
Slightly. But this is no time for idle conversation. We have only an hour or two to ourselves. And I'm passionately in love with you.
And yet you don't know me.
I don't want to know. You're all the women I've ever dreamed about. And if you must leave Boulogne tonight, then I want to remember you without a name.
Listen, do you love me enough to help me?
Do you love me enough to ask me?
Yes. Yes, I do. I've never met anyone like you. I've known shallow, weak, spiritless men who think more of the king's smile... who think only of themselves, who ask a woman's favor and never command. You are different.
What do you want, my little beauty?
I have 3 friends in Boulogne in trouble.
Is that so?
They are to sail tonight. They have a passport. For some reason, suddenly the passport is not sufficient. They need a permit as well.
Oh, yes.
There's no way now to get that permit.
What do you think I could do?
Tell me where the ship is, whom I could see.
You have courage.
Please help me.
What is the ship?
The Jeune Pierrette.
Oh, that is a coincidence. I happen to know the captain.
You do?
Yes. His name is de Grasse. You'll find him this moment in the Wharf Cafe. You'll see the sign of the lobster.
Would you go with me?
I would, but I think you might do better alone. You have nothing to fear. De Grasse welcomes money.
And you? Where will you be?
I shall be waiting for you.
Louis, what do you think has happened?
I don't know. He can only wait.
I'm frightened.
I knew where to look for her.
You mustn't go out. You've heard the mobs like wild beasts at every new bulletin posted in the square. Have you finished the permit?
20 of them. They're no good. I'm lost.
No, Louis, no. We still have 3 hours until the ship sails. We'll use what we have.
If they stop us, you try for the ship. I am the one they want.
Oh, Louis. Louis, why didn't you stay safe in England?
Because I had a dear sister in France.
And because your heart had gone to a woman who would betray anyone if it gave her pleasure.
Anne, this may be the last time you and I will ever talk. If I am taken and you and Eloise escape, I beg you'll be kind to her.
I despise her. She's brought you to this.
We've brought ourselves, all of us. Eloise is no more, no less guilty. She's fiery, impetuous. But her only real sin is wanting to drink life in deep draughts, to taste every flavor of it.
You're too kind to a selfish woman.
I love her, Anne.
I know. Louis, do you hear anything?
I heard it a few seconds ago.
What is it?
I think it means a number of things are ended.
I don't understand.
You will, in a few moments.
The Marseillaise.
The vultures chorus.
What's happening?
We shall see presently.
I can see torches now. There are hundreds of people. Louis.
Yes, my dear.
They're coming this way, toward the inn. Where is Eloise?
I thank heaven every moment she's not here.
What do you mean?
The end of the hunt, Anne. Have you courage?
Yes. We have our passport. Here, give it to me. And one of the permits, anyone.
My dear.
Louis, look. A troop of soldiers is leading the mob. And look at the man at the head of them. You can see him plainly by the torchlight.
So it is. You are quite right, our spy. Well, I've been expecting it.
We'll light every candle. Throw back the blinds. They shall see we're not running away. They shall see we are innocent and unafraid. Louis! They're stopping! Right in front of the inn! Who is there?
French Republic.
It is difficult to hear. Louis, quickly hide in the closet. Yes. What do you want?
Open the door.
That is impossible. Quickly, Louis.
Open this door.
I am here alone. I am dressing. I can admit no one.
For the last time, citizeness, open the door.
No. Have you no honor? Have you no...
My pardon, madame, but you left me no other course.
Who are you?
Permit me, fellow traveler. I am Valzin, National Agent of Public Safety.
It was you following us, a spy.
I deplore the word. Soldiers, attention. To the street. I will handle this alone. Now, madame, we shall have some peace.
How dare you come into this room?
I owe you an apology. I came looking for one Louis Chenot.
I know no one by that name.
Curious after your long journey from Paris?
Yes, I have returned from Paris. I am a widow. Virginia Balsage. I live here quietly. My brother and sister were with me.
The widow Balsage, living in gentle obscurity. Madam, my heart weeps for your plight. How long have you lived here?
2 months.
And your brother lives here, too?
We are simple people. He is a school teacher.
School teacher? An admirable calling, Madame Lazane.
Balsage, I told you.
I seem to have difficulty with the name. If I could see it written, some official certificate, perhaps.
I have a passport. There.
Thank you. And also a permit to embark on the Jeune Pierrette.
Yes.
Madame, you should blot your writing immediately. This is still wet.
What do you want of us? We're not hurting you or France. We're 3 simple people living in obscurity.
Where is Louis Chenot?
I don't know.
I must have an answer, madame.
I tell you, I don't know. I don't know, Louis Chenot. I don't know. I don't know.
When you have collected yourself, citizeness, we will proceed. It is, of course, quite hopeless. The people have been hungry a long time, citizeness. And you who were on the top like foam on the wave never heard them. You forget that with hunger comes power. Now you are helpless. Yes, citizeness, the people will eat you to the bone.
Very pretty speech, Citizen Balzan. I should have known this.
My little beauty. You with these people.
As if you didn't know. You played a very fine joke on me, didn't you, with your smiles and your lovemaking?
Don't talk. Don't say anything, sister.
Yes, I will. For hours I've been waiting on the quay for the good captain of the Jeune Pierrette, only to learn that he is dead drunk and will not be revived until sailing time.
I was afraid of that.
You knew it. Then I began to suspect things.
I was sure you would.
Don't talk, I beg of you.
And I have an account to settle.
With old sister's advice, little firebrand, I am not here for you, but for Louis Chenot.
But you lied to me. You made love to me.
From the bottom of my heart.
Oh, how can you say this?
I would do it again. In fact, I shall do it again.
No, get out of here!
Presently. Now, about Louis Chenot.
You will not find him here.
Then I shall find him somewhere else. For 6 years, my dear little firebrand, I have followed Louis Chenot.
Followed him? Why? What has he done to you?
What do you care, Citizeness Balsage?
I don't.
I shall go on. The story might interest you. And you, Citizeness.
It won't.
My name is Valzin, now a national agent, formerly a soldier in the King's cavalry. A very common soldier. My commander was Colonel Louis Chenot.
Oh.
You begin to understand. This Louis was like all weak-kneed, lily-livered aristocrats. When he felt out of sorts, the men suffered. There were many blows and punishments. But one day, Louis was more than a little upset. It seemed he was engaged to the reigning court beauty, a woman of some repute.
How do you know this?
The beauty jilted him. On that same unhappy day, my horse unfortunately fell and splashed the elegant colonel with mud. That night, the beauty danced light-hearted as thistledown at the court. I was in prison.
In prison?
Prison was nothing. It was even nothing the next day when I was stripped and beaten and made to stand all day in the parade grounds in the February rain for everyone to see. But then I was drummed out of the regiment, and my military career was over. You see, citizeness, when I told you I was a veterinarian's assistant, I spoke the truth. There was nothing else left.
So it's for that you want revenge.
It is for that I have followed Louis Chenot through France. It was my agent who forged his passport. His 5,000 louis have gone to the people. It was I who rode in the carriage behind him. Now the hour has come.
Louis Chenot is not here.
Then I shall leave. But I shall return in a quarter of an hour. If Louis Chenot is in this room when I return, you two women shall have safe conduct to the boat. If not...
He will not be here, I tell you.
Then my duty is inevitable.
Louis, you can come out from the closet now.
I know. It is hopeless for me.
What do you expect? You've treated people like that all your life. Now the wheel has turned. It's their chance.
Have you nothing in your heart for me?
Did you have anything in your heart for him and his kind?
Are you on his side?
I despise him. But perhaps he is entitled to his revenge.
Don't quarrel now. We've got to get Louis out of here.
No. You escape. There's no escape for me.
Stop being ridiculous, both of you. I care nothing for your lives or safety. But I have a score to settle with our agent. Eloise Danville will humble this jack-in-the-box.
You've done enough, Eloise.
He's made a fool of me. Louis, the guards will be watching for 2 women. If you'll wear my clothes, you and Anne can escape to the ship.
And what about you?
He shall find out whom he's trifled with. Eloise Danville is still safe in France and powerful. Go on, get into the dress, Louis. The time is short, I insist. I'll wait here. I want to see this Valzin once more. Landlord.
Yes, citizeness. You wanted to speak to me?
I'm expecting a caller shortly.
The door? What's happened to the door?
Some common soldiers made a mistake.
Do you know this inn is surrounded? So bad for business.
Don't let the agents hear you say that. I summoned you because I'm expecting a caller. I do not wish to be disturbed on any account.
But, citizeness...
You hear my order.
Yes, citizeness.
You needn't knock. The door is broken.
My little beauty.
Louis Chenot is not here.
I did not expect he would be, but I knew you would not fail me.
What do you mean?
I arranged this. I expected you to be here, and here you are.
You're quite wrong if you think this is a rendezvous.
I think nothing. I merely said I knew you would be here. I intended things should work out like this. I gave your friends the chance to escape. I sincerely hope they made the most of it. Although, to be frank, he did look rather a fool in that gown of yours.
Why did you let them go? To torture them further?
Perhaps. Perhaps to see you again. I told you I've always dreamed of a woman like you.
I despise you.
Do you, Citizeness Balsage?
But fortunately, I have a friend more powerful than you, who will see nothing happens to me.
Indeed, and who is this friend?
A patron of the Republic, a defender of the people, one who has given everything she has to the cause of the Revolution.
And who is this great person?
Eloise Danville. Surely you know her.
Yes, I know her. In fact, in my pocket, I carry a warrant for her arrest.
Arrest?
Of course. I'm amazed that with your cleverness, Citizeness, you defend a woman like that.
You cannot know her. You are a petty official. She walks with the great. What are you laughing at?
Your loyalty to her. It would be funny if it weren't so tragic. Citizeness Balsage, don't you know who Eloise Danville is? What they think of her? She's despised. She's the joke of the Revolution. She gave her wealth a week before it would have been confiscated. She cultivated the Republicans to shock her royalist friends, and she talked revolution for sheer sensation.
How dare you?
Worse still, she is a court beauty. And everything and everyone in her life she has sacrificed for that. She has no heart, only vanity.
You don't know.
I do. She was the woman who jilted Louis Cheneau, so he took his anger out on me. I might have forgiven that. But later, as I was standing bound and stripped in the court, it was her laughter I heard from a carriage. The spectacle amused her.
Oh, no, you're wrong.
She laughed at me. She was the most beautiful, maddening, damnable woman I had ever seen. And from that moment, I vowed someday I would bring her to her knees.
Have you no heart?
Has she?
Yes. Yes, she has. And for a few hours, she lost it. Surely that means something.
It means a great deal, citizeness. It means the answer to 6 years' misery.
It could not have been too miserable. You've risen far, Valsin, from a veterinarian's assistant.
I am not through.
And do you not think a beautiful and proud woman could help you?
Speak more plainly, citizeness.
You have said we are two of a kind. We are. We are both ambitious and ruthless. With my help, you could rule Paris, all of France.
I still do not understand.
I think you do, my friend. I think you've known since the moment our eyes met. Marry me, and our destinies will be greater.
I told myself it would not happen, but it has.
What do you mean?
My cup runs over. It was what I had planned, and here it is.
You planned?
That you would one day stand before me, begging me.
You fool, I'm begging you for nothing.
Believe me, citizeness, that was the sweetest moment of my entire life. I regret I cannot accept your kind offer of marriage.
Oh, I despise you.
I'm sure of it. Now, Eloise Danville, are you prepared for the last act of my little drama?
This way, citizeness. Mind that beam. Step carefully.
Take this accursed bandage from my eyes.
In a moment.
Where are you taking me?
Patience, citizeness. Patience. This way.
Let go of my elbow.
Just a little further. There.
Take this bandage off.
Yes, I can do that now.
Louis. Anne.
Eloise, how did you get here?
Well, where are we?
On board the Jeune Pierrette. That means he's letting us all escape.
Yes, it would seem so.
Aren't you through with your little comedy yet, Citizen Valsin?
Almost. You three, Louis Cheneau, Anne Cheneau-Lezaine, and Eloise Danville, are on board the Jeune Pierrette. In a few moments, you will lift sail for Barcelona and freedom.
I don't trust you.
You shouldn't, my dear citizeness. But I have had my amusements. I've watched you while first fatigue, then suspicion, then terror seized you. It would be easy now to send you to the guillotine. Death is swift and easy. But that is too quick to pay for the wrongs I have been done.
What are you going to do?
Against Madame Lezaine, I have no revenge. You will die soon enough, Madame, as soon as that soft brain of yours weakens from shock. For Louis and the lady he loves, another fate. Captain?
Yes, Valjean.
This is Captain de Grasse, my friends. Captain, when the ship is 20 degrees south, you are to use your authority as a ship's commander and an agent of the Republic to marry Louis Cheneau and Eloise Danville.
Marry Eloise?
Oh, no, you can't do that.
I can, with Madame Guillotine waiting in Paris. That is my revenge. You love this beauty, Louis, and she despises you. You are weak, she is vain and selfish. You will have a lifetime of misery, and I shall have a lifetime avenged. And you will cling to each other despite your misery because there is nothing else.
Tide is going out.
You're a fiend.
Yes, citizeness, I am. Made so by the lash of a royalist whip.
You will pay for this.
In the next world, perhaps. Meanwhile, a long life of misery to you both.
Valzin. Look.
Yes. Come, D'Arsonville. The fog is thickening.
We'll wake up the innkeeper for some hot wine.
No, we're returning to Paris.
To Paris?
I've finished my work. It's completed as I planned it. Every detail.
I suppose you know what you're about? To me, the prettiest picture is that knife in the sun. I would like to have seen Madame Guillotine slice off their heads.
That would have been most unsatisfactory compared to the vengeance I planned. I did it just as I planned, complete. And yet, it's true. Nothing is quite perfect in this world. There is always the one tiny flaw.
And what is it this time?
I did not know how much I would love her.
From Studio One at CBS, you have just heard Fletcher Markle's production of The Hunted, based on a play by Booth Tarkington. Another full-hour Columbia feature from the pages of the world's great storytellers. Tonight's script was written especially for this series by Margaret LeWorth, and the original musical score was composed by Lana Domian and conducted by Alexander Semler. Now again, Mr. Markle.
May a producer introduce the principal members of our cast tonight? In the foreground,
Paul Valzin
was played by Everett Sloane.
Eloise Danville.
Was Anne Burr.
Louis Chanel.
Sidney Smith.
Anne Chenot.
Miriam Wolfe.
Captain de Grasse.
Was Gregory Morton.
D'Arsonville.
Was played by Martin Wolfson. With tonight's performance, Everett Sloane, one of your Studio One favorites, leaves our company on a busman's holiday. Over on Broadway, just a few blocks down the street from Studio One, Mr. Sloane will be opening shortly in a featured role in Donald Ogden Stewart's new play, How I Wonder. I know you'll join us in wishing him much luck and success and look forward to his return to our microphone as warmly as we do. Next week from Studio One at CBS, our story is Robert Ardrey's remarkable and controversial play, Thunder Rock, a wise and memorable study of a man who attempted to escape from our troubled world to another world of imagination, a world he built in his own mind. It's a wonderful story with an astonishing conclusion. We hope you'll be with us. And now until next week, until Thunder Rock, this is Fletcher Markle with a good night and thank you from all of us in Studio One.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.